Hashem, Mincha is going to be at 7:20. Mincha Avit, please be on time. The Halacha, we're going to start doing the Halachot of Btwn, which means bread, and Hamotzi min haaretz, and various Halachot of Brachot. So the Shulchan Aruch writes, Tov le'achmir, shelo le'asiach ben Netila le'hamotzi, meaning to say a person who did Netilat Yadayim, of course said the bracha and the Netilat Yadayim, should not interrupt between the Netila and the Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. People make a little bit of a mistake, and they treat this halacha more seriously, or as seriously, as saying a bracha of Hamotzi and the bread. The interruption between saying the birkat Hamotzi to eating the bread is much, much more serious and problematic than the interruption between the actual Netilat Yadayim and the Hamotzi of the bread. And this is where people sort of make an error, and the misconception emerged that if a person speaks between Netilat Yadayim and the eating of the bread, if he spoke, you have to go back and do another Netilah. No, not true at all. As a matter of fact, according to the Shulchan Aruch, even the interrupting, even the speaking from the letter of the law is permitted between Netilat Yadayim and Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. The language uses tov le'achmir. It's good to be stringent, which means from the letter of the law you can actually speak. So we don't speak because we want to be extra careful and we don't want to make interruptions. But it's not in the same category as a person who's interrupting between Hamotzi and eating. And the difference is, it's a very big difference. One is an interruption between the bracha of the food itself. So Hamotzi is going on the food. And therefore, if you interrupt and you say, hello, Bob, so then that would be an interruption that would require you to go back and say another Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. However, when you interrupt between the Netilat Yadayim, which is its own separate mitzvah, and the Hamotzi, yes, they're connected, but they're not that connected. And therefore an interruption, speaking to someone or saying something to someone, although we prefer not to do it, but it would not be in that same category. And you would definitely not have to go back and do another Netilat Yadayim, without question. And sometimes even the Chatchila, you would be allowed to speak. For example, if there was Kaddish, if there was Kiddusha, if someone said a bracha, you're allowed to answer Amen. As a matter of fact, even more than that, you would be allowed to say, can you please pass me the salt? It's a mutar lechatchila to do that because it's connected to the meal, and between the Netila and the Hamotzi, that's permitted. But between the bracha of Hamotzi and eating the bread, that would of course not be allowed, and in some cases you might even have to go back and say another birkat Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen.